So this is our last stop in North Africa. What would be an appropriate send-off for such an amazing collection of wonderful cuisines? And welcome back to Cliffieland. This is week in country number 177 on our second attempt at cooking the food of every single country in the world. Tonight up to the nation of Tunisia. Tunisia, located in North Africa on the Mediterranean, is wedged between Algeria and Libya. It has an ancient and complicated history. Its cuisine is just as famous. It is a lot like the cuisines of Algeria and Libya, with the notable difference of the fact that the food in Tunisia tends to be a good deal more spicy, and that's alright with me. You're going to find dishes involving couscous and rice. Along the coast, you're going to find dishes with seafood, and along the interior, things that are more in the nomadic tradition. The cuisine is heavily influenced by the many empires, nations that have ruled the land over these many millennia. You're going to find influences from the French as well as the Italian and specifically the Sicilian traditions. There are so many great dishes, it's not even possible to even try to scratch the surface in a thing like this, but we tried. One dish that the nation is famous for is shakshuka, which originated with Tunisian Jews many centuries ago. We wound up doing that one way back when we cooked Israel, so if you want a really tasty egg dish, check that one out. Another thing the nation is famous for is tagine, which we're going to be seeing a version of here. Now, don't get it twisted. Tagine in Tunisia is different than a tagine in, say, Algeria, and that is super duper complicated. If you got a map and a flowchart and maybe some string and wire, you might be able to like map out, how this is all different from the other, because trust me, it's complicated. Now, we dealt with this whole thing last time around, so let's see how things went when we did this all before. Well, 5 years ago on the Global Cooking Challenge, I wanted to cook across 3 nights. I wound up cooking across 2. And I wound up making 2 chicken dishes. I really wanted to make a lamb dish, but that didn't work out. The first night I made a chicken with couscous, which was wonderful, but that wasn't nearly as fantastic as the dish we did on the second night, where we made a chicken tagine, and that's what we're going to be doing here tonight, because it was so good, there's no way I was passing that one up. So I don't want to be babbling on here. We need to see what goes into tonight's dish. For our chicken and onion tagine, we'll need 1 tablespoon of kosher salt, plus more to taste, 6 cloves of garlic, roughly chopped, 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds, crushed, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, 5 tablespoons of olive oil, 4 skinless bone-in chicken thighs, 4 skinless bone-in chicken drumsticks, and 1 teaspoon of crushed saffron threads, 4 medium yellow onions cut into 12 wedges each, freshly ground black pepper to taste, 1 lemon thinly sliced crosswise, seeds removed, 1 1/4 cups of pitted green olives, 1/3 cup of finely chopped cilantro, and cooked white rice for serving. This is going to be really good. It's nice that it's a quick prep and that it doesn't involve a marinade that you need to start the night before, because I really hate doing that, and this one's only a few hours, so if you're kind of pressed for time, this might be the one for you. I need to shut up. We need to get cooking. First, make your spice paste. Using the flat side of a knife, mash the garlic with the 1 tablespoon of salt on a cutting board to make a smooth paste. Then transfer to a bowl and stir in the cumin seeds, paprika, turmeric, and 3 tablespoons of the olive oil. Add the chicken thighs and drumsticks and toss until evenly covered. Cover the bowl and marinate in the fridge for 4 hours. When it's time to cook, heat 2 tablespoons of oil in a Dutch oven over medium-high heat, then working in batches, add the chicken pieces and cook, turning once until golden on both sides, about 10 minutes. Transfer to a plate and set aside. Once the chicken is cooked, add the saffron threads to the saucepan, add the onions, season with salt and pepper, and cook, stirring occasionally until soft, about 15 minutes. Return the chicken to the pot, add the lemon slices, add 1 cup of water, bring to a boil, reduce to medium-low, and cook covered until the chicken is cooked through, about 40 minutes. Meanwhile, cook your rice any way you'd like, and when the chicken is ready, remove it from the heat and scatter olives and cilantro over the chicken and serve with rice. How Oh, well, just as last time, it was right home to mom, so good. It was fantastic, it was so delicious. I wound up making the entire recipe, even though it called for something like 8 servings, because I knew I was going to be going back for seconds, and ooh, I did. And I wanted enough for leftovers, and that worked out too. It was such a wonderful combination of flavors, the great combination of the spices and the heat from the pepper, as well as the sweetness from the onions and the subtle sourness from the lemon. It was just a perfectly balanced dish. The saltiness from the olives, it just really all came together. That rub was just wonderful, and the fact again that I didn't have to soak it overnight made it a tolerable situation for me. And actually, I've been doing a whole lot of marinated chicken dishes these last few weeks, and each one has been just as good, if not better, than the one before. So I'm sorry if it's just I'm kind of beating the same drum, but this is really that good. So no surprise, we're gonna give that one 5 out of 5 globes. So thank you, Tunisia, thank you, North Africa, for all the amazing tasty dishes. And remember, none of this is supposed to be any kind of substitute for finding people from the actual countries, showing how they actually cook the actual food from their lands, because they're the experts. I'm just a guy trying to do this all-encompassing thing really quickly. So that's enough for me. That's enough for Tunisia. Next week, we cross the Mediterranean to have the equally legendary food of Turkey. See you then. These are not my original recipes. Links to the original recipes and their authors can be found in the About section. If you have any thoughtful feelings or helpful suggestions about what I'm doing, feel free to sound off in the comments here. If you like what you see, like, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified when these videos are posted, and of course you can always follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. Thanks for coming by. See you next time. Happy eating.